Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. Here we are, 2 days until the election. Welcome to our election prediction show. Hard to believe this is our third one on this show. 2016, 2020, 24. Can't believe we've been on the air this long. Join us live on election night at WTF Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, downtown Austin. We'll be rocking all night, going live at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Twitter. If you're in the area, pop in and join us. It'll be me, Dan, Jared, Christina Bob, Trump's attorney, Uncle Laser, and Bobby Flacco are doing the national anthem. Street Gonzo will be there. Delco, Bob, everybody will be there.
Zeus will be there.
Zeus and his kangaroo, I think, will be there. I think they'll let the kangaroo in the bar, right?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It'll be a blast. All the new flavors of Hard AF Seltzer will be there. Go easy. They are 8%. Even my mom got a little tipsy last night on Halloween drinking these things. But it's going to be a blast. Please vote before you come. Do not skip your vote and then come to the party. Just vote first. And if you want to get tables there, just get there a little earlier. No need to sign up for anything or ticket-wise or all that other stuff. We were informed that there's plenty of room for everyone and should be wild, for Christ's sakes. What are you eating beforehand? What are you snacking up on before you go down there?
Yeah, I might do the Babe Ruth diet.
Okay, what is that?
This is what he ate every day.
Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
Okay.
For breakfast, he had a pint of bourbon mixed with ginger ale.
I'm actually a big fan of that.
A steak, 4 eggs, fried potatoes, and a full pot of coffee.
Oh, I'm still in.
Yeah.
I'm still in.
His afternoon snack was 4 hot dogs and 4 Cokes. Now, I don't remember when Coke... Well, first of all, Coke was using real sugar back then, so it's not nearly as bad as it would be today.
And I think real cocaine, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember what year they got rid of cocaine in Coca-Cola. I think it was in like the teens.
1903.
1903,
so
okay.
that would have been after. He was not doing cocaine. Then he had early dinner.
Okay.
2 porterhouse steaks, 2 heads of lettuce drenched in blue cheese.
Perfect.
2 full plates of cottage fried potatoes and 2 full apple pies.
All right.
Yeah.
That's for his first. That's really like lunch, I guess.
Yeah,
He kind of skips lunch.
So far,
Well, dinner.
the Coca-Colas and the apple pies are out for me, but everything else sounds delightful.
Yeah. Then evening snack, 4 more hot dogs and 4 more Cokes.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then-
minus the Coca-Colas, I'm fine.
Yeah, and then late dinner, 2 more porterhouse steaks, 2 more heads of lettuce drenched in blue cheese, 2 more full plates of cottage fried potatoes, and 2 more apple pies.
Yeah. That's
Now,
why he was the greatest
wasn't-
of all time.
He wasn't that big of a dude.
No, he wasn't as fat as people think.
No, he's not nearly as fat as people think, because all of this food that he was eating was actually still real food for the most part. The Coke's
Yeah.
iffy, but...
And it was before like all the processed bullshit and
Yeah.
everything else. They did him dirty with John Goodman playing him in that biopic.
This is how much you can eat and still be, what was he, 6'1" and like 190 or something like that?
6'2", 215.
215. That's not bad. That's the same. That's what Trump was.
That's a normal, well, that's not at all what Trump
It
is.
sure
Yeah,
is.
no.
When he had the Atlanta thing, I believe he clocked in at 6'3", 215. Yeah, makes sense.
This is just, the reason I brought this up is because a big part of the campaign now is Make America Healthy Again.
Yeah.
And this is what you can eat. You can eat 4 full plates of fried potatoes. I'm sorry, 5, because he ate one for breakfast too. 5 plates of fried potatoes. You can eat 5 steaks, 8 hot dogs, 2 heads of lettuce drenched in blue cheese, 4 apple pies, and 8 Cokes, and still be in relatively good, a professional athlete shape. One of the best players of all time.
It fit in his macros, you know?
It did, but the potatoes is a weird one to me. I met with a dietitian for this one movie, and there was potatoes in it, and like the weight wasn't coming off, and I'm like, dude, can we just get rid of the fucking potatoes? And they tried to pitch me something. What is with the potatoes?
Carbs.
It's all starchy carbs.
Well,
right?
I know that, but why do they put it in a diet?
It helps you gain weight.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're
I wasn't trying to gain weight.
If you're trying to, if you need energy to fucking
To live.
to live.
That's what he was saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you
Gotcha.
need
So, but
carbohydrates
there's
before you
better
live.
things to eat. Like potatoes are a fucking what do you call it? A nightshade, right? So for some people, it's really not good for you. The body doesn't process it correctly. You're better off with cottage cheese and cut up melons or grapes or something like that.
That's what we switched to. That's weird you said that. Okay.
That's
that makes
that's
sense.
just more common.
I mean, if you want to lift heavy, though, you eat some rice, eat some potatoes. You get those good carbs, man, those simple carbs.
yeah, I mean rice
Especially
is
right before a workout.
rice is definitely better for most people than potatoes. Potatoes are like potatoes, tomatoes, a couple other things are nightshades, and they don't interact with some people's bodies all that
So
well.
Kevin Smith, I believe, lost all his weight, the director of Clerks, or
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay
Um,
or Silent Bob.
Silent
rather.
Bob.
Yeah.
He lost all that weight because he went on a potato diet. So they're like, you can eat as many potatoes as you want, but that's it. And it turns out you don't want to eat a bunch of baked potatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Strange.
You've had 2 baked potatoes, you've had enough baked potato.
All right. And what do you have there, Bob?
This is
I catch
elite
something out of my
modern
eye.
athlete Clayton Kershaw after winning the World Series in his hot bod.
Oh, look at that, dude. Good for him.
Did he pitch?
No, he didn't
No,
even play.
he was hurt. He was hurt.
He was in his normal state of being.
Good for him,
Who's that?
dude.
Clayton
Kershaw.
Kershaw.
He's got what, 300 million in the bank? Fuck it, dude.
Minimum.
He's got man tits,
So what?
so
Good
that's
for him, dude.
gross. He looks disgusting.
Well, he's injured.
That's
you know?
disgusting. No, there's no at no point did I have titties.
Yeah, he's injured. He's injured. Good for you, Clayton. Who
I mean,
cares?
that's how Patty looks when he's not fighting, right? Pimlet.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets fat, then he gets ripped. It's insane.
Bert Kreischer's doing fine, so I think we're all good here. All right, kids. If you're following along, this is on YouTube. For the audio listeners, when we do these predictions, we'll tell you state by state. So what we're going to do is go around the horn here with the 4 of us. Joel doesn't even know what states, let alone country, he lives in, so he will not be involved in this. And we will predict every state around the horn here. D'Anthony, we will start with you.
Do you want to? What order are we going in?
Let's go right to left. How about that? We'll go east to west.
Okay. All the Northeast states are going for the Democrats as they always do.
Name them off for the audience, because I'm going to have some that are different.
Maine, definitely Dem, although they might split one of their
It
electoral
usually
votes.
splits.
New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and
Color those in on the map.
and
there.
they're already
Okay.
colored blue.
Okay,
They're
gotcha.
already.
New
I only
Jer-
have the swing states.
New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. D.C. for some reason gets to vote. They're not supposed to. I don't know why they do, but yeah, and D.C. And Virginia will go blue as well. Pennsylvania is red.
So that's the first big swing state. Now, here's what we've said throughout the week and on different shows and different podcasts, because you and I have been guests on different shows throughout the last couple weeks here. If Pennsylvania falls and it is red early on in the night, this election is over, correct? It's 19.
I can color it in real quick. So
Not necessarily.
If she keeps the other blue wall states.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, certainly.
then-
if he wins North Carolina and Georgia, which it looks like he will.
Well, we'll get there, but
No.
but type in, go to Pennsylvania, make it all red.
Just Pennsylvania is not enough. So he can win Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. He can lose Wisconsin and Michigan and Arizona and Nevada and still win. He would be at 270.
Okay.
270 to 268. But that's not going to happen. He's winning more than that.
Okay.
Yep. So where are we?
Pennsylvania, red.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's red. West Virginia, obviously, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, all the southeastern states are all red, to include North Carolina and Georgia.
So those are two more swing states.
They're not though. I mean, they have been in previous elections, but not right now.
I
don't
agree.
think.
I agree.
They really haven't, actually. So Georgia was a swing state in 2020, and I guess you could say 2022 in that Herschel Walker couldn't win his race.
Bob, how is Herschel doing?
He's anticipating a big day on Tuesday, I
Okay.
guess.
Is he on the ballot, or do they take you off after that? What happens there?
Herschel don't stop running.
No, I agree.
But Georgia or North Carolina has not been won by many Democrats in the last 20, 30 years. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So in North Carolina, you're going to get it'll be one of the more interesting states because the Democratic candidate for governor is going to win, but Trump is also going to win.
And that's the thing. So when we were there, Bob, it was the same thing. There was a Democratic in 2020. There was a Democratic governor elected, but the rest was Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the congressmen, everybody. It was the most bizarre thing of all time. Now let's start with the Midwest here. Do you think he gets Michigan?
I heard from somebody this morning that he's up in Michigan.
Okay.
And I think, and then today, later on today, I guess you'll this comes out Sunday night, so you'll have already seen this, but Cardi B is doing an event in Wisconsin, I think in Milwaukee, for Kamala and endorsing her and shit. I'm not sure who that's playing to.
She's got a gajillion followers.
It doesn't matter. I don't believe that celebrity endorsements carry that kind of weight. I just don't believe that. I don't think I've never seen evidence of that being the case. That being said, I think Wisconsin goes red. I don't think there's any question about that. Illinois and Minnesota are blue.
Did you pick Michigan?
Yeah, I guess. It looks like, based on what I saw, it looks like he's going to win Michigan.
Okay.
Nate Silver has been talking about this for the last week. All these polls they're putting out saying these states are even are complete lies.
And why did he say that?
I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember. I was talking to Baker about it this morning, but he's like, yeah, all these polls are full of shit. Like, they are not tied. He's like, Trump is ahead by outside of the margin of error at all these states.
But do you think the media has been saying that? Because this is what everybody's trying to figure it out. And you weren't here on Monday, but Bob said the same thing that I was thinking too. Depending upon which bubble you're in, I've read it on Twitter where the left thinks blowout for Kamala, right thinks blowout for Trump, and then the media has been pushing this 50-50 dead heat narrative on every single fucking thing.
That's because they want people to go vote.
2.
That's because they want people to go vote.
That's what I think.
That's all that is.
That's what I think too.
But yeah, there's the quote unquote blue wall states, or even in the quote blue wall states, Harris is, if any of the swing states she's actually up in, it's within the margin of error. Right?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, 2 points.
Yeah. And within the other states, she's not winning. She's not winning any of them. So I think Michigan is a toss-up. I think they'll get Wisconsin. Michigan, I'm not sure about. I know they pissed off all the Arabs there. I just don't know how many votes they actually have. And then all of the central part of the country is red until you get to Colorado and New Mexico. They're blue. They're solid blue. They're not going red ever.
+1 electoral vote in Nebraska where because they split their votes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the West Coast obviously is all blue. Alaska's red and Hawaii's blue. Nevada and Arizona, my understanding is they're both going for Trump. That's what I'm hearing from people that know that sort of thing. And in addition to that, I guess we could talk about the Senate races as well later on. But
yeah. We'll get to the Senate races afterwards.
That's my map. It should be 312 for Trump. I think that's about accurate.
You have Trump 312, Kamala 226.
Yeah. But even if he loses Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Michigan, provided he takes North Carolina and Georgia and Pennsylvania, then he wins before it even gets to them. Like, he wins on East Coast time,
Okay.
by 11 p.m.
By 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And who has told you that? Anybody inside the campaign?
No, I don't talk to campaign people about that because they're full of shit.
Okay.
I talk to gambling people and people that have real polling data.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Before we get to the rest of them, so what is that the final total there for Trump versus Kamala for Dan Holloway?
312 to 226.
312 to 226.
Also, if you're going to bet, and I'm not telling you to put your mortgage on or anything, but if you're going to make any bet in this, just for the value, I think taking Trump to win the popular vote is probably the best value that you're going to get.
Well, we're seeing record numbers here. I believe they're expecting by the Saturday, it to reach 75 million early voters, which is half of what last year's or 2020's election was. That number's crazy to me.
Yeah, and News Nation and a couple of others are looking into the Senate stuff. I mean, Republicans are way ahead in Ohio and Montana on those Senate races to flip those seats. Now, there'll be a special election for Vance's seat once he gets elected as VP. So they'll have to do that one too. But right now...
And would that be Vivek?
I don't know. He's talking about running for governor. I don't know if he's going to run for Senate first. Hard to say. But the polling and stuff I've seen... it looks like the Repubes are definitely going to hold the Senate, or take the Senate rather. 75% chance they take the Senate.
What about the House?
Unclear on that one. Kerry Lake versus Ruben Gallego. It looks like Lake's going to not win that one, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think she's kind of a lunatic, frankly. Although Gallego's going to try to cut your kid's dicks off, so I guess she's better than him. But
she's hot.
That's not really...
That's how we're voting these days. Yeah, Boebert, dude. We need some more hot people in office. Just good-looking people. That's a big deal to me, actually. Getting these uggos out of here, just out of my fucking screen, is really something I want to see happen here more of. That'll lead us to our first sponsor, our title sponsor, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. 50% off every single item in the entire store over there. Bob, you want to pull up their website real quick on the old Ghost Bed? They got everything on there. All their products are made in the good old U.S. of A. Talking about mattresses, sheets, pillows, adjustable bases, weighted blankets, mattresses for RVs, the massage toppers. Best in the biz over there at Ghost Bed. Love the new Venus Williams collection as well. Rumor has it there's one on the way because my wife bought it. So I don't know. I'll talk to her after this. But I'm amped. And if you're in the market for a brand new bedroom set, these guys make the best in the biz, dude. I love their sheets, their pillows, everything. I've got them in every single room of my house. I have for years. And whenever they go down or daddy gets tired of them, I literally just reorder from these guys. Big fan of them. Plus at checkout, after you enter that promo code, Drinkin Bros for 50% off. You see a box to check that says, hey, would you like to stretch this out over 3 years? Yes, I would. Get a brand new bedroom set for $45 a month. Head on over to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. All right, we'll go to my map here. Bob, if you want to pull that back up, we'll start with Maine. You can leave that. I think that is... it's blue, and then usually one red vote there. It's one of those weird split vote states. I think Nebraska's one as well, if I'm not mistaken there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically in Nebraska, the Omaha electoral vote always typically goes to the Democrat.
Okay. Here's where I'm going to take a fucking swing at one up there. Give me New Hampshire for Trump. I have heard from a few people up there that there has just been off the charts record turnout there for voting, and it's something like they've never seen before. I've seen some of these gambling sites have it Trump up by a couple points or like a 1 percentage point.
Sure.
I'm going to take a guess on this one just by the numbers of early voting and take a gamble and say New Hampshire. So mark New Hampshire as red for me.
Also, just before we get into the down ballot stuff, there is something, and keep this in mind as you're filling out your bracket here, but when the major political party, when a major political party wins a state by 4 percentage points or more, there's like a 75% chance they flip multiple House seats as well.
Oh, no shit.
I don't know why that is. That is just like, it's like the fucking...
People are just going down ballot, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that's the mechanics of it, but I don't know what actually drives it, to be honest. So just keep that in mind. That's been true in almost every election ever.
Okay. Vermont. I have blue. Those little tiny ones there. Rhode Island, blue. It's Democrat. Connecticut, blue. Jersey, even though there's been some fun and excitement there, still have that as blue as well. Delaware, blue. Maryland, still have that as blue. DC, I have that as blue. New York, God, I'd love to take a gamble on this one just because it seems like people are fucking fed up there. I think it's closer than it has been in the past, but I still think it's Democrat up there. I know there's been some whispers behind the scenes that like it could flip. I just don't see it happening, dude. I think it's still Democrat up there. So you can leave that one blue. I'm with you as far as Pennsylvania. I think Trump gets Pennsylvania, and I think that's what makes this an early night because we'll go down the coast now at this point. I've got West Virginia, Republican. I've got Virginia at Democrats. I've got North Carolina, which is another quote-unquote swing state. I don't think it is. I think Trump wins that one. I think South Carolina, Trump wins. Georgia, which they're saying is a swing state. All my friends in high school and all that other shit, they said record turnout for early voting. It has been big Trump. They have said, so I'm going to flip Georgia red there from the last election. Florida, obviously, I think will be Trump. Kentucky, Trump. Indiana, Trump. Michigan, I'm going to side with you on this one. I think Trump gets Michigan, and I think it probably comes down to like 3 or 4 percentage points there. But I think he actually gets Michigan and brings that home. I just think people are fed up with grocery prices and everything else that's going on there, and I think that's the biggest factor, along with the Muslims that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
like
the Arabs.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen there. Wish we had that music. We could play it right now.
Bob, you suck at your job, dude.
No,
I know
he's working on it.
No, fuck
He's working
him.
on it.
No. We need a racist soundboard now.
Yeah, we sure do. Oh, and by the way, Pennsylvania, I got the Penn State can sitting right in front of me here.
Oh, nice.
Boom. What's up for Hard AF Seltzer?
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley. Let's go. Alabama is Trump. Tennessee, Trump. Kentucky, Trump. Indiana, Trump. That is Republican. Illinois, Kamala. That is blue. Wisconsin, I don't think they flip Wisconsin. I think Cardi B gets the vote out. I'm kidding. But I just don't think they'll flip Wisconsin. I think it'll be razor thin, but I think she will get Wisconsin. Minnesota. What have you heard about Minnesota?
Minnesota's deep blue.
Yeah.
It's light blue on this, but I don't remember the last time Minnesota voted for a repube.
I'm also, by the way, I'm not clicking it all the way through. I'm just because it assigns the electoral votes either way. So if you
Sure.
guys pick it, I just click it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going Minnesota, obviously Democrats. Iowa, I'm going Republican. Missouri, Republican. Arkansas, Republican. Louisiana, Republican.
Sorry, what?
What? Louisiana? Sorry about that. Sorry about my Louisiana. Should have said
We
that.
vote for pube down here.
Hell no. Well, yeah, you not only vote, every time you vote, you get a crawdaddy. You get a little crawdaddy in the jaw, a little mason jaw. Take home a crawdaddy. So yeah, that's red. That's Republican. Alabama, Republican. Missouri, Republican. Iowa, Republican. North Dakota, Republican. South Dakota, Republican. Nebraska, Republican. Kansas, Republican. Oklahoma, Republican. Texas, Republican. I've heard whispers about New Mexico. I don't think so. I still think that's Democrat.
We'll see. I wouldn't be shocked if New Mexico went repube just because of the border bullshit. Like, they've been fucked as hard as anybody in the country
They
on
sure
that
have.
stuff. So I guess I could see it, but it's been deep blue for a fucking long time. I don't expect New Mexico.
Whenever you name your states after the country that is invading you, yeah, it's probably still going to stay there. So
Yeah, I mean, Bostonians did not like England.
No,
So
they did not. They did not. Next up, Colorado. That is blue as well for Kamala. Wyoming, Republican. Montana, Republican. Idaho, Republican. Utah, Republican. I have Arizona as Republican. I think he gets that state as well. However, I think this is going to take 3 weeks for them. I don't think these fuckfaces can figure it out.
Yeah. To be fair, Maricopa County is the 4th largest county in the entire country, right?
Is it?
Yeah. It's 4.5. It's most of the state. 4.5 million people live in Maricopa County.
Okay, so who are the 3 that are ahead of it?
I mean, I'm guessing New York and LA counties would be up there. I don't know what the third one would be. Somewhere in Texas, probably. It's probably that one in Houston that has all of Houston. And all the suburbs.
People forget
Harris
how big.
County.
Yeah, Harris County. Yeah, I
People
bet that's it.
forget
Bob,
how
did
big
did you look it
Houston
up? What? Did you look it up?
No, I just know Harris County's Houston.
No. I mean,
Oh.
like the top 4. It's got to be New York, LA,
That's what I think.
and I'm pretty sure Harris is the third one.
Yeah, people sleep on Houston. It's a fucking huge
Okay,
city.
so are you going by population? Is that what you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
The population is LA County, Cook County, which is Chicago.
Yeah, okay, Cook
and then
County.
Harris County, which is Houston, and then Maricopa, which is Arizona.
Where's New York? Is it 5th?
New York is a little more divided up because it's
Man.
the boroughs. So
Oh, the boroughs
Queens-
not all one county? I
No,
thought
they're
they were all
not.
one county.
No,
Oh,
the
okay.
boroughs are their own thing. So Queens is actually, Kings, which is Brooklyn. It's Kings County, but it's Brooklyn. And then next is Queens, which is Queens.
Okay.
And that's where LeBron lives.
Yeah, Kings and Queens.
No, just the Queens.
Just the Queens, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Diddy guy.
Right, but he's a king who's now a queen.
Not when you show up to a Diddy party. He's a queen.
There ain't no party like a Diddy party, dude. He's getting heat for that fucking comment right now. But so yeah, I think you get Arizona. However, I don't think you get it on election night. I think this is going to be 3 weeks later.
I mean, it won't matter.
I agree.
What will matter is the Senate election and the congressional elections.
Correct,
there.
and that's going to fuck up a lot of shit.
Well, the good news is this. I really think that the presidential election is wrapped because of Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia on election night, and then all of Trump's attorneys, Christina and all these people, this huge team they created, are all going to Arizona to start suing people.
I agree.
That'll happen by the end of next week.
I think the major problems on election night will be Arizona and Nevada, but I don't think it's going to matter at that point. And it'll matter for Senate seats and Congress and all that shit. But I don't think you're going to get those answers for 3 weeks, man. I don't know why they can't figure it the fuck out. I really don't.
Sure you do.
Well, yeah.
They have to leave gaps so they can fucking wheelbarrow fucking votes in.
But it's still like every other fucking place has figured it out at this point.
Well, they haven't though. Like Michigan's been trying to
you're
pull
right.
some bullshit.
You're right. They said 4 days.
Two separate things. Well,
yeah.
not even just getting it done on time, but they've been trying to cheat, and they've been caught over and over again this cycle. A couple of states have. Pennsylvania had that weird fucking thing going on. Yeah, it's. But really, and we've actually said this for a couple of years now, since 2020. Just you got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because it's too hard to get away with this stuff. Like, it really is too difficult to get away with it. Nobody's hacking. I don't think anybody's hacking voting machines. I really don't believe that. I just don't believe it. I don't think it's necessary. Why would you go to all that trouble when it's been so loose? Maybe in the next election we need to worry about that because it'll be a last resort thing. But if you can just, like, put up fucking cardboard over the windows and do whatever you want to behind closed doors, you don't need to hack machines and shit for that. Why would you?
Yeah, and you know what's weird is, like, for me personally, in my life, I have voted in Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, in California, and Texas. So all of these states I have voted in, never had a problem. 1, 2, if you're the state that has it right and correct is Texas. That fucking system that they have is impossible to cheat or get around or anything else. And yeah, whatever they do voting wise, they should replicate that in every single state.
No, you could totally do what people say, which is hack the voting machine, right? We've already alluded to it on this show. Oh, there's glitches when you put in something for straight ticket. We don't have straight ticket to my knowledge, but
yeah, we don't have that here.
But you could have
Right.
other quote unquote glitches if you really like the theories people apply to other states could easily be applied to Texas because you hit something on the machine. It's a machine.
Yep.
And then it prints on the paper.
But
so there's still a software in there.
Yeah, but then you can use your hardware eyeballs to look at.
Well, so here's the.
By the way, I
have you voted
highly
yet, Rob?
recommend doing that. No matter who you're voting for or in what state, like, so we talked the other day, and I got a bunch of messages about this, about Washington and Oregon, the ballot curing process that is the case over there. It's the case anywhere. You can always request to see the outcome of your vote, and no matter what state you're in, right?
Well, when we voted, have you voted yet, Bob? Here in Texas?
Yeah, today. I waited till there was no line today. It was great.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Today's the last day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, today's the last day of early voting here in Texas. But so when you got it, Bob, it does print it out for you here in Texas.
Oh, I know,
So
and I looked at it and everything, but I'm just saying how many people do that. You don't have to fuck. How many people are just like, God, especially if there's a long line, you're just like, God, get me the fuck out of here. I'm telling you, it is very easy to interdict those. Not easy, I guess, but if I'm just saying,
pay attention.
Yeah, just pay attention.
All you gotta do is pay attention.
If you can apply that theory to other places, you can apply it to Texas voting machines.
Certainly.
I agree. But I do like the fact that it was printed out for me. I was able to see it and double check it, and before I handed it in, and the system here is pretty easy. And I mean, not easy, but I think it's exactly security-wise where it should be. I mean, if you don't fucking check your ballot, that's your own goddamn problem.
I agree with that. I like it because it gives you an immediate receipt.
Yep.
And then you can look at it to make sure what you actually said is what's on the paper, and then you can go on about your day. What I usually do, go home, eat a steak, pound off.
Yeah. And then that's your voting.
That's me voting with my decisions, not just voting.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I'm voting for the kind of life I want.
Of course. All right, so we continue on here. Arizona is red. Utah is red. Idaho is red. Nevada, I've got red as well, Republican. Washington is obviously Democrat for me. Oregon is Democrat for me. California is Democrat for me.
I bet California is going to be closer than people think. I don't think he's going to win it by any stretch of the imagination. But in an average year, I think it's somewhere between an 8 and 12 point difference between Repubes and Democrats.
What was it in 2020?
No, it's bigger than that. Hold on.
Yeah, in 2020 it was way bigger.
I'll check 2016.
Yeah. Check 2016. Yeah. But it's usually closer than you think, or closer than you would think. Especially if you just take registration.
Hillary Clinton won California by 30 points.
30?
Yes.
Yeah. It's always pretty
If you want to talk about closer,
what was it in 2020?
I think if we're looking at all these states that are traditionally not close,
it was 29 points in 2020.
Okay.
Traditionally not close. I think New York will be the one that'll be a lot closer than it has been in years past.
I'm going to give you something you guys are not going to like to hear, but the state that is really creeping close is Texas. Trump won by 6 points in 2020. He won by a fairly decent amount more in 2016, but Texas, that gap is closing.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's not surprising. So I think, Bob, before you started here, when we moved here, when Dan and I first moved here and, met all the people and all the shit, like, dude, there's so many people from California that are moving here that I said, I think Texas could flip blue by 28 or 32
so
eventually.
it's been moving that way. So he won it by Texas has not had a double-digit win for a Republican since 2012,
and
I think.
Everybody I know who has moved here from California is voting Democrat every single fucking time. So I'm with you on that. I think you give it 8 years, and it's going to be a neck and neck race simply because people are fleeing California. So
I think my personal opinion on Texas is it's going to bump back up a little bit this year, maybe 7 to 8, probably split the diff. But it's a single vote state or single percentage state right now.
Yeah, I think it'll be somewhere between 8 and 10 this year.
Yeah,
we'll see about
the future.
I mean, who knows? Speculating about future elections is fucking pointless.
No, it is. But I'm just saying demographically, there is so many fucking people from California moving here that and they're bringing their politics. None of them. Not one person I met from California is like, yeah, man, I changed my mind. And I'm like, God damn it. So you literally just fled your state to bring the fucking same politics here? Like, I mean, yes, across the board. I'm with you on that.
Here's one thing I will support, which I normally wouldn't. I don't think women belong in combat. It's not built for it physically, but if Kamala Harris were to win this election because of all these stupid bitches, then I'm going to start pushing to get men out of war and only women fight now. If you want to live that life, then go fucking live that life.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I think they just want their husbands to be real men again. And you can't do that unless you go to war at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that,
They're actually uncucking their husbands.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Men could have avoided all this by, not letting them vote in the fucking first place.
Right. We didn't have to have the suffrage act. I mean, that was fucking crazy.
That was just a waste of time.
Kidding. Alaska is red, and then Hawaii is
Hawaii's another one that I think will be a little
blue.
bit closer just because a lot of people got red pilled in Hawaii because of the fucking shit burning down and then the government trying to steal people's land and shit like that. They'll never, repubes will never win Hawaii. I don't think, I think Hawaii would just sit out the vote before repubes would win, but they are becoming increasingly more anti-authoritarian or anti-government there just in general. I think that Hawaii wants to secede from the U.S.
well after the fire and all that shit.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know why we want Hawaii to be a state.
Strategic.
Yeah, certainly, but just have an MOU. Like Guam's not a state. Why do we need Hawaii?
We
to
do
be a
own
state?
Guam though.
We own Guam.
We don't.
Guam
It's a territory.
sucks.
Yeah, Guam.
Have you been to Guam?
Guam blows, dude.
I fucking
It's
Guamed out
gross.
hard, dude.
Hawaii's awful. Or Hawaii's the best state we have, I think. It's like
Guam's over Baghdad.
Hawaii's definitely not the best state we have.
Like,
Well, beauty-wise, it
Physically,
is.
yeah.
Physically, yes, it is the most beautiful.
Perfect.
It is. It really is. And
no, California is clearly the best.
But Guam is gross.
I agree with that.
both.
If you
Both are beautiful for two different reasons.
As land, California is literally the best land the United States owns.
Yes,
By far.
and Hawaii. If you're looking let's go back to all the shit that I say of me never wanting to visit anywhere. I think we have it all here in the United States. So if I want to go someplace tropical, Hawaii's fucking awesome.
perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go anywhere else other than Hawaii. So if everything collapsed around the world and we sealed off everything, I have all I need in the United States of America, which is why I love this country so much. For real. You can go up north for all the winter shit and the cool shit and everything else, and then south for the fucking swamp shit and the beaches and everything else. California, Hawaii, we have the best of every world here in this country, and we're one of the few countries on earth that can actually say that. What does that put my total at there?
Trump 306, Kamala 232.
Okay. So that's where
You also
land.
have an early night because you picked Pennsylvania and Georgia and North Carolina.
Correct. And I think it will be an early night. The ones that'll be late won't matter at that point, and we can all celebrate and have a good time here. And by the way, speaking of celebrities voting here, before we get to our next sponsor, can you show
Damn,
us?
these bad boys are sharp. Look at that.
God damn, you sliced that in half.
This knife is 2 years old.
Montana knife. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the fucking best.
Anyways.
Pull up. I just tweeted you in your DM there. Pull that up. This is Ricky Gervais's. He just made an endorsement here for President of the United States, and I think this is very important for the audience.
Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime, and it makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that. Hi, guys.
God damn it, he's the best, dude. Just the fucking best. He's the only one who has yeah.
He does a good job of doing it without being black-pilled, where you're just like, all right, everyone sucks. Great.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It's just pure comedy. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, because all these people making these fucking videos over the last 24 hours with Jennifer Aniston and everybody
Did you see
else.
the Avengers one? I can't tell if that's real or
I
not.
can't either. Can you pull it up? Because a bunch of listeners hit me up with this right before we went on air here.
I think Trump has to do it. He has to dress up like Thanos.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? That would be the greatest of all time. Yeah, put that on the big screen here and play this one.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Avengers.
Hi.
Thanks
Hey,
for
Scarlett.
jumping on the call.
Whoa. I think you mean assembling. I said assembling. Don, that's pretty good. No, that was funny.
Scarlett, it is our pleasure to come together and to get the vote out this election. Come on.
Yeah, how can we be of service?
How about we start with what our voting plans are going to be, who we're going to bring to the polls with us, that sort of thing.
I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Ooh, yes. Definitely a catchphrase.
How about this? I'm just off the top of my head, I can do this all day.
Shut up.
I hate it. Okay.
I mean, it's original, but
What about something punchier like, ooh, boom. You looking for this? Iron Man 2, everybody loved it.
okay, again, I think we're just trying to get out the vote.
Kamala forever.
That's better.
Okay, how about I'm down with democracy? It's just clean, it's simple.
Okay, I like that.
It's hard to argue with that.
Kamala Harris down with democracy.
Oh, yeah. I'm Kamala Harris, and I say down with democracy.
I don't know if that sounds the way we want it to sound, though.
I think we just need, can we get some production though?
Jarvis?
My name's not Jarvis, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. Down with democracy.
Down with democracy.
Is that what we mean, though?
Yeah, together we're gonna tear down democracy.
Will you stop playing heroic music under yourselves?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I am down with democracy. Did I sound enough like her on that one?
That was great. How many Golden Globes have you been nominated for? I'm just curious.
Yes! All right, that was awesome.
Yeah, I don't understand what the fuck that was all about. It seemed like for a minute, Mark Ruffalo was gonna be like, "Hey, we can't say down with democracy, or tearing down democracy." That's the opposite of what she said.
I got the joke they were going for. It's just not probably the right message here. And then, Bob, for everybody, the audio listeners at home, it's Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo,
Scarlett Johansson, is Black
RDJ.
Widow. Mark Ruffalo is now Smart Hulk. He was both Bruce Banner and the Hulk, but he is now Smart Hulk, which is a combination of the two.
Thank you.
Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man. Iron Man passed away. He has recently been announced as Doctor Doom. You probably didn't even know that.
I did.
Don Cheadle is... Actually, I don't even know who fuck Don Cheadle is.
He was the black.
He's War Machine, motherfucker.
Yeah,
War
that's
Machine.
him, dude. That's it.
Sorry, I just knew him as Rhodey. And then obviously...
I know him as Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he was on Rogan.
Yeah.
Obviously, Paul Bettany began as Jarvis and has since been Vision. And the black chick from Walking Dead is a black chick from Wakanda.
But we don't know her name?
I don't know her name.
I don't know her name either.
And then obviously Chris Evans is Captain America, a.k.a. Steve Rogers.
So who are we missing there out of the cast? Thanos is
fucking 100.
Well, Thanos is Brolin Beater.
Josh Brolin's
yeah,
not there.
he's super lib.
Scarlet Witch is not there.
She's an
The Olsen.
The Olsen.
The Olsens are repubes.
The Olsen twins are repubes.
They're-
I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know about
her.
Elizabeth.
I don't know about her.
The twins are repubes.
They have too much money to vote any other.
Yeah,
She's
and I
the
also
best
know
Olsen.
some of the dudes they date. They're all repubes too.
Yes.
So
Yeah, she's the best Olsen too.
One of them's
Easily.
been on the show many times.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that off air.
Yeah, he's definitely not liberal.
And they're still dating.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who else? Captain America.
Oh, Thor, but he can't vote.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah,
is
Thor
definitely-
can't. Gwyneth is a. Actually, I don't know about her. She
No.
might be black pilled.
Most of the
no,
fucking
she's
most of the
voting Jill
superheroes
Stein.
are fucking English, so they can't vote.
Paul
Yeah,
Bettany.
true.
Yeah, Paul
Yeah,
Bettany.
Paul
can't
Bettany.
vote.
But then there's
Tom Holland is English.
Yeah.
the guy that plays Bucky Barnes is
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, he's American. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's a Dem. He
I-
also
yeah,
just,
he
also
just did a
played
Trump movie, yeah.
Actually, it looks good. Like I kind of want to watch it.
Here's the weird thing.
he did
I
a
think
Trump
it came
movie? What are
out.
you talking about?
Yeah, it's called The Apprentice.
It's about Trump's rise with Roy Cohn.
Yep.
The lawyer.
Correct.
Yeah.
That sounds awfully bagely. That name you just said.
Well, it is.
It's with Jeremy Strong.
Jeremy Strong's in it.
Oh, I love
Our
Jeremy
boy,
Strong.
yeah.
Jeremy Strong's one of my favorite fucking actors.
The movie, I don't know what it's going to be like, but the movie, the performances genuinely looked very, very good. I'm very interested to see it, actually. And usually those movies drive me insane.
But I think it's out.
It
and
is.
that's
I
the
think you can
problem.
probably stream it.
Yeah.
Man, who else wasn't there? Oh, any of the Guardians. Chris Pratt, not there.
Yeah, well, he's a repute.
There you go.
Chris Pratt's a repute.
Yeah, he's a
Zoe
repute.
Saldana is definitely not. She's
Bradley
liberal.
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper wasn't
hardcore
there.
Democrat.
Yeah, he's a
Hardcore
liberal.
Democrat. Yeah.
And then obviously Batista's a Dem.
Yeah. Well, we had our own Batista video. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
did,
he's wearing fucking blouses now,
I saw that.
which is nice.
Yeah, I
Good
saw
for him,
that.
you know. He's a gender bender.
But if you're out on election nights and you're looking to do more than drink, maybe get high. Have you ever been too high and thought, all right, enough of that? We've all been there. It's exactly what Diet Smoke is crafted in their award-winning gummies that can be shipped right to your house to give you the perfect balance buzz every single time. If you're looking to wind down after a long day or just find that smooth, relaxing vibe, Diet Smoke has got your back. These aren't the gummies that knock you off your feet. They're all about giving you that ideal high without tipping the scales. So I know what my level is. It's 10 milligrams. And I get the Blue Raz. I have them every single night. Huge fan. And it's just nice to fucking relax and help me go to sleep because it's been well documented on the show. I never fucking sleep. And that's the only thing that kind of gets it going there. And a little Zevor here and there. But these have been put to the test. And the firework gummies, they're fucking legit out there. Red, white, and blue flavors. Their flavoring is awesome over there. And they're all literally equally balanced. They got a QR code on the fucking bag. So you can just scan it. It'll tell you when it was made, what the milligrams are, all that other shit. No fucking guesswork. The shipping on it is lights out. They're at your door in like 48 hours. And it comes in like this cardboard box. So it's totally discreet. And it freaks me out every time. So I'm like, oh shit, what is this? Oh fuck, man, it's Diet Smoke. Awesome. That way my kids don't know and all that other stuff. And because we've been working with these guys for years, Diet Smoke is offering every Drinkin' Bro listener an exclusive welcome bundle and 20% off your entire order. So head on over to dietsmoke.com. Use the promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout. So whether you're looking to relax, sleep better, or just enjoy a perfectly balanced vibe, Diet Smoke has what you need. Take the guesswork out of gummies and find the perfect vibe today. Again, that is dietsmoke.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros for your welcome bundle and 20% off your entire order. Diet Smoke, beautifully balanced cannabis every single time. All right, Bob.
Wait.
Did you grab a fucking cool one there? A hard half seltzer?
Now.
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on with this? The cooling?
What do you mean?
Bob, you're drinking on the job, Bob?
Yeah, we're drinking on the job, dude. Are you shocked by that?
Well, no, dude. It's
I'm drinking too. Yeah, here we go. No, I'm drinking fucking hard AF as we
I
speak,
don't know,
dude.
man. I just don't know how I feel about
Friday afternoon. Bob, go ahead and pull up your map and go through your picks.
All right, let's stop sucking each other's dicks here.
There we go.
That's good.
There we go.
We're saving the best map for last.
Yeah, dude. We got the Libby boys.
All right, I don't really...
Well, for me, I'm going to have a better map than Rob.
Okay.
Sure. I don't really give a shit about anything but the swing states because I don't think anything. I think roughly everything's going to play out as one would think. Although I do think Ross, your New Hampshire one is a good. That's probably the best Trump value bet.
Yeah, if you're going to actually gamble on it, that's not a bad one.
On mybookie.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
For an individual state, at least.
Yes.
Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that deposit up to $1,000. Go ahead.
But I think everything else is going to hold relatively the same. I wish they would give you spreads, which they don't, because I would love to take spreads on some of them.
How so?
Like Electoral College minus 20.
Or no, by state, like margin.
Oh,
You know what
margin
I mean?
by state. No, so what
winning, like yeah.
they offer the states, and then it's Republican or Democrat in my bookie, but they don't offer a percentage. So the percentage though is offered for the popular votes.
I know.
So
Yeah. But anyway, I wish. Anyway, I'm gonna fill out my map here. Like I said, I think everything's gonna hold pretty true. That isn't the swing states. I don't expect any surprises. I did say earlier.
Read them aloud for the audio listeners, state by state, just so they know. Because obviously we have the advantage of being on YouTube right now.
Maine is split. It has 2 electoral votes. It'll split because that's what they do. The rest of New England, Democrat. New York, Democrat. Jersey, Democrat. All East Coast. Not Pennsylvania. Haven't gotten there yet, but all the rest of the East Coast. Democrat. Virginia, Democrat. West Virginia, Republican. So that's that whole upper area. And now I'll go to Pennsylvania, which I do believe is going to Kamala Harris.
Really? And why?
I've been trying to follow along on both the left and right here. And there's a guy I like in particular who's just following stuff. Fuck, what is his name? Anyway, the Democrats have a pretty good firewall of votes right now in terms of early voting by about 390,000.
In the state of Pennsylvania?
In the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
There's still ballots left to be turned in by mail and to be counted by early votes. And then the rest will be election day. I'm very curious how much Republicans have cannibalized their day of voting with early voting. I think that's a huge question mark.
Well, the interesting part about that too, Bob, is, I told the audience this on fake news the other day. Trump and his team are spending the rest of their campaign in Pennsylvania.
Well they should. That's the state.
I agree.
She can't win without that state.
And they pushed off the Penn State-Ohio State game just to do more groundwork so they can do more rallies. I agree, too, because I think...
You can't waste 3 hours in one place.
I agree. And initially, the thought was, all right, great. They'll be on television and everybody can see it because it's going to be one of the highest rated games of the year. However, it does not matter to everybody else in the country. What matters is being on the ground and doing rallies on the ground. So I think on the Trump campaign, I think that is a smart move to skip that game and then just go out and do the groundwork. But that would also make sense of why they're still there. So I understand that pick. Continue.
Going down the thing, I said Virginia, that's blue, West Virginia, red. North Carolina, going for Trump. I don't know how close this will be. It'll be interesting because I wonder how much Mark Robinson has depressed the Republican vote by people just being like, ugh, gross. But I think Trump is the bigger draw anyway.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how you can possibly get depressed by nude Africa.
Yeah. That is a beautiful website.
Yeah,
not a sponsor. Wish they were.
I think Mark Robinson's going to have quite a few holes on the ballot for Mark. Like no one's going to fill it out.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah.
This one's interesting. So, South Carolina, red, no problem, no question. Georgia, red. I think Georgia and North Carolina to me are very interesting states because they are what I would call purple states, but they are not swing states for the presidential election. I think Florida elects a lot of Democrats. They obviously, like other redder states, Ohio and Kansas, will vote, I guess what you would call left, even though none of those things really mean anything anymore, on stuff like abortion, because Florida has abortion on the ballot this election, and it's likely to pass, while Trump is going to win the state, and probably while I think Rick Scott's up for re-election in the Senate.
Yeah, and by the way, so in Ohio, in that last midterm there, they went all Republican, but voted against abortion. So they did go out of their way for that. So yeah, I that makes sense.
Yeah. But anyway, Florida's fine. Trump will win Florida. But Florida, though, will be a purple outcome on election night, I think, overall. And I think North Carolina, like Dan said, the Democrat will win the governorship, but Trump will win the presidency there. I don't know what else is on the ballot in North Carolina, to be honest, outside of that. Georgia, I did not think for the longest time that Georgia was going to go blue. I am kind of now, the gambler in me thinks it is going to go blue.
Okay.
And here's why. Turnout is reaching record numbers.
Yep.
That typically helps Democrats more than Republicans and black people. Now, maybe this helps Trump. I'm just going off of history. Maybe the black vote swings to Trump, but black voters are some of the lowest propensity voters in the state, and their turnout is as high as it was or higher than it was in 2016.
You know, the one county is Fulton County, so that's where the majority of the black population is down there in downtown Atlanta.
So there's three, right? That there are three big blue counties that are key to Georgia. There's Fulton.
Yep.
There's Cobb, which is where the Braves play.
Correct. They're right. Yeah, just north of there.
And there's another one that has been swinging towards the blue side for the last two election cycles pretty vehemently, and that's Fayette County, which is another suburban Atlanta county.
Yeah. I know those counties.
The turnout there, I did not think this 3 weeks ago, and I just keep reading things, and I'm like, that's really fucking interesting.
Okay. I wonder what my bookie has on that on Georgia.
It's 2-1.
2-1 for repubes?
No, Kamala's 2-1.
Oh, so really? In the state of Georgia?
She's a dog, 2-1.
Okay, in the state of Georgia.
If you want a Kamala value bet,
you're looking at Georgia.
Georgia is the Kamala value.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you can use that money to buy body armor and assault rifles. Because that's what you're going to need if that stupid cunt wins.
Keep going.
Tennessee, Kentucky, blah, 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 Ohio, whatever. Those are all going red.
Get to the swing states.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Everything you think is
No.
red is
It's for the audio listeners.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, all red. Ohio is a Senate race. We'll talk about that, I guess, in a little bit. The Senate race is closer, I think, but I still think a Republican will win there. But Trump will win by more than the senator wins, I think.
Okay.
For whatever reason. Michigan, I think, is staying blue. I think that is a blue wall state that stays blue.
Okay.
That, by the way, alone puts the Democrats over 276.
Okay. Continue on with the rest.
The other states, Wisconsin. This one, I have no idea. Wisconsin, to me, is the least safe blue wall state. I kind of think that could be a tight Trump win. Like if I had to take a blue wall state to fall, I think it's Wisconsin.
Okay.
I don't know. Just based on what I'm reading, based on vibes.
Make it red then.
I'm trying to. It's slowly reacting, and it goes blue for.
You got to click it twice.
Button.
Click the push the button. Don't stop now.
Got it. Got it. It's being a little slow. Yeah.
Wisconsin has fallen.
Wisconsin has fallen. Minnesota stays blue. Iowa red. Missouri red. Arkansas red. Louisiana red. Texas we already talked about. Red. Although I do think it's 8. I think like Dan said, 8 to 10. And then I guess we could talk about the Senate later. I think Ted Cruz wins against Colin Allred. Oklahoma red, Kansas red, Nebraska 4-1 red, but there is a blue vote in there from Omaha or whatever. South Dakota red, North Dakota red, Montana red, Wyoming red, Colorado blue, New Mexico blue, Arizona red.
Okay.
I do not think that Kamala Harris is going to win Arizona. I think immigration is too much to overcome there. I think Kari Lake will lose because they fucking hate Kari Lake. But I think Arizona voters the Republicans are pretty well marshaled there, and I think the people who maybe sat Trump out in 2020 and a little bit in 16, I guess, because him and John McCain were combative. I think they're just going to take that out on Kari Lake at this point, and they just want to get rid of Kari Lake. But they will vote for Trump.
Okay.
Where am I at? Utah red, Idaho red, Washington blue. Even though, man, Washington has the funniest fucking presidential ballot. They have like 8 communist candidates on the ballot.
It's the weirdest one I've ever seen.
Let me show it real quick. The picture. It's so fucking funny.
I saw this circulating and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I didn't even know those people.
It is. This is a California presidential ballot.
The Socialism and Liberation.
So you've got
look at this.
You've got Harris, Walz, Trump, Vance. They kept RFK on whatever. Then you've got Jill Stein, who says green but communist. You've got Claudia De La Cruz, actual communist. Rochelle Fruit, actual communist. But she's from the Socialist Workers Party. Then you have Joseph Kishore from the Socialist Equality Party. Chase Oliver from the Libertarian.
He's also a communist, by the way.
A libertarian communist.
Yes, he's a let's trans kids, full open border. That's Chase Oliver.
Okay.
Cornel West, which is God knows what, and then Shiva Ayadurai is a independent but probably a communist. If I had to imagine.
Yeah.
But this is
what a
the
strange
fucking
ballot. Yeah.
It's goddamn insane.
A listener sent that to me too, and I was like, "No fucking," from Washington, and he goes, "Dude, you're not gonna believe this," and I was like, "What?" I'd never heard of 3/4 of those people on that ballot.
Yeah, it's hilarious. California. I do actually think the California margin's going to shrink this year.
It'll shrink.
It went from 30 to 29. I could see it being like 25. I feel like California is not hyped on Kamala Harris.
Well, they didn't like her because she was there. And
Right.
that's the thing is like when we all lived there, we didn't like her when she was the fucking DA. So like, yeah, we didn't like her then. And it's like, all right, how does that translate later on? And by the way, I also think that's the problem with Gavin Newsom. Anybody who lived there knows what he did to that fucking state. So like, I don't think he'll ever have a shot at presidency.
No.
That's just because the state is so big that like, no, I just don't see it. If you live there, you realize who destroyed that fucking state, and it was him.
And then, so if you notice, California has 54 electoral votes. That is lower than the last couple years because they've lost people to other states.
To Texas.
Well, no, not just Texas. One of the states they lost a lot of people to is Nevada, which I think is going blue.
You think Nevada's going blue?
I think Nevada's going blue.
They went blue last time. All right. So what is your final count there?
Closer than either of your two, although in the other direction. 282 Democrats, 256 Republicans.
So you have Kamala Harris winning president of the United States.
The stuff I've been reading makes me feel that way. Full disclosure, I abstained from the presidential vote just to, in case anyone's wondering if I'm rooting for my girl or not. I did not fill out that or for Ted Cruz or Colin Allred because I don't fucking like Ted Cruz, but Colin Allred seems illiterate.
Yeah, the listeners will find out anyways, but that's funny. Wow. Yeah, so look, we got 2 for 1. We'll get to the last sponsor here, and then we'll go to Delco here for the finale of it. Next up is bioproteintech.com. Guys, what's that?
I was looking. I'm trying to see what the polling is for Steve Garvey right now.
Oh, for
he's running for
the
Senate in
Dodgers.
California,
Well, the Dodgers just won the World Series too, so hey, we'll see.
Maybe he's at the parade today.
Do you think Dodger fans losing their hands will affect his vote?
God damn, it's the worst video ever. I refuse to show it on this show. Maybe Patreon.
No, we can't show it on.
We
even
definitely
on there,
can't
probably.
show it. Well, yeah, even there. If you haven't seen it, a Doyer fan held a firework, lit it, forgot to release it, and blew off both of his hands like Tropic Thunder.
In his defense, that fuse was much shorter than he thought it was going to be.
What did it cost? Everything.
Everything. Cost him everything. Cost him his fucking hands. And the amount of shock he was in, Whew. Boy. Bioproteintech.com. Guys, if you're over 30, you're going to want to hear this. Here's why your hormones suck every year after puberty. All your shit starts to decline, dude. Everything, man. All your human growth hormones, dude, it goes into the toilets. A lot of people take testosterone, like myself. A little TRT there, but that's only half the battle there. You got to get everything else up and at 'em. And Bioprotein Tech is here to help you out. It comes in 30 vials. Once a day, pop one underneath your tongue right before night. Helps you with faster recovery, sleep, even fucking sexual energy. So if you're trying to get rid of, man, I had a lot of hard AFs today. Rid of excess body fats at the gym, and you want to pop out of bed earlier and all that other stuff and feel more energized. Bioprotein Tech is giving you HGH-like results without any of the needles, doctors, or side effects. It's been trusted by physicians since 2009. We've been taking it for about, 9-10 months here on the show. Not only do I feel great in the morning, but also the skin looks good. I don't know what it's doing, but I like it, dude. Got a lot of fucking energy every day. So if you want to fix the way you feel, perform at the gym, and even in the bedroom, head on over to bioproteintech.com or click the link in our audio description and use the promo code DRINKINBROS for $30 off your first order. If you just want to read about it too, to see what you're getting into, go to bioproteintech.com to decide if it's right for you. We love it. Maybe it'll be right for you. All right, Delco, you're up next here. Who do you got? We got to go state by state again for the audio listeners.
Yeah, of course. So crunch the numbers. I've ran hundreds and hundreds of thousands of models, and I've devised the perfect electoral college map.
Yeah, I
Bob,
heard
you can just
haven't
click
slept
reset
in a week, you know?
You can just click reset, and it takes it back to just the swing states being toss-ups.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so obviously all of New England except the one random main electoral vote, blue. Pennsylvania, we got going Nittany blue for their Penn State.
So let me ask you this. Is that inside info because you live there and you got family members and all that stuff?
Just they like Shapiro.
Well, I know they like Shapiro.
Yeah, but they don't like the Repube Gov in North Carolina, and it's definitely going red.
Yeah.
Just hear me out.
Okay.
Listen to the rest of the map.
Yeah.
We got Delaware. Biden's revenge. It's going red. We got Delaware going red.
That would be wild. It's funny.
He is. It does appear like, I don't know if it's a doctor, Joe Biden, or somebody else in his camp that's just pissed off with Harris and Obama and all these people. But it does seem like Delaware's definitely not going red, but it does seem like they're fucking trying to sabotage.
I don't know.
Listen, I told you I've crunched the numbers.
Yeah, no, he's crunched the numbers, dude, for weeks. He hasn't slept.
He just, what did you do? Write down all the numbers and put them in a bag and shake them up?
No, he crunched them.
Oh, you crunched them
like Doritos.
They're all crunched up. Yeah. So Virginia's blue, obviously. North Carolina, South Carolina, red. Got Georgia going blue for the Braves, of course. Florida, red. Ohio, West Virginia, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin. I got going red.
So all of those states are red?
Yes.
Okay.
I got Michigan going blue, big blue. Go blue.
Yep.
We got Minnesota, obviously blue. The rest of the map is pretty much similar. I got Nevada going red. I got Arizona going red. And then for all those Tulsi Gabbard simps, we got Hawaii going red. We got Hawaii going red.
That would be the first time in American history, I believe.
What really?
They've only been a state since the 50s. So.
Check that out, Bob. I'm curious about that.
No, because Reagan won it. I'm pretty sure.
They love Tulsi
Reagan
Gabbard
may have,
there.
yeah, he won pretty. What did he get? Like 383 or something?
Actually, one time the only state he lost was Minnesota because that was Dukakis' home state.
Yeah,
so he did win.
Cock-ass, yeah.
So Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas red, Nebraska red except the one random electoral thing. Then you got California, Oregon, Washington blue, and it creates the perfect map because Alaska's red of 269 to 269.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, then Kamala Harris wins because she's the deciding vote.
Is that true?
The president of the Senate, yeah.
No, it goes to the House.
Yeah, but she's the one that cast the final one.
Yeah, she cast the final vote.
It's the House and the Senate, I believe, vote, don't they?
Let me double check.
Yeah.
If so, then she would be the deciding vote in the Senate.
Well,
they would be split anyways, I guess.
I think the last time this happened was Quincy versus Jackson won.
Yeah, Quincy Jackson won.
No shit. I mean, look, it's not entirely out of the question.
Nope, that's not how it goes. Actually, this is very interesting. I did not know this. So the Senate does play a role. The House elects the president based on the 3 candidates who receive the most electoral votes. Then, so here I'll just read it directly, actually. If no candidate receives a majority of electoral votes, the House of Representatives elects the president from the 3 candidates who received the most electoral votes. So it'll only be 2. Each state delegation has 1 vote. So presumably within the delegation, I guess, so California has mostly blue.
So just the same way we used to elect Senate?
I guess so, yeah. Then
Okay.
the Senate elects the vice president from the 2 vice presidential candidates with the most electoral votes.
So we could have a Harris-Vance administration.
Please,
or a
God.
Trump Walls, which would be way fucking funnier.
Oh my God.
Holy
dude.
shit, that would be hilarious.
Please, God.
Can you imagine Trump on just doing presidential shit and Walls is around? He's like, yeah, and this fucking queer over here.
Oh my
with jazz
God,
hands or
dude.
something. This fucking
God,
loser. He's a huge loser.
I mean,
It's the perfect map right here. Trump Walls 2024.
That is so fucking funny. To the window, to the walls. Wow, dude. The weird thing is, there is a bit that's not completely crazy. Like,
That's
you know
pretty,
what I'm saying?
pretty crazy.
Not really.
For Hawaii to go red is pretty crazy.
I don't think so. I'm with you. Like, because of the popularity of Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi.
I mean, for real, dude. Like, they love her there.
You could do this map in a way that does make that happen, though. Like, Hawaii stays blue, but you get
New Hampshire?
You get like New Mexico, New Hampshire, some of the split state vote. I mean, there's a way to do it. There's a not crazy way to do it.
Yes.
I'm a little unorthodox, but again, I ran the models.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
crunch
did
the
ran the
numbers.
models. What do you personally think, Dan, is the most likely outcome that night? Because I think, me personally, it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, blowouts are never common. It's like in presidential history, it's not super common, especially lately. For
The Dukakis thing was super rare.
Yeah. Well,
That's like a super blowout. So
Yeah.
the races prior to more or less the 21st century, but you could really say like the modern era, like the 90s on. Before that, they were a lot more decisive.
yeah.
They were like these are all the last 4 races, 5 races, even Bush, Kerry, or Obama, Romney, like relatively close.
Even Clinton, Bush, or Clinton, Dole would have been quite a bit closer had what's his nuts.
Oh, HW would have won if not for Perot.
For Perot, yeah.
If George H.W. Bush would have beaten Clinton, Ross Perot.
100%, yeah.
Yep.
It can never be understated how many votes Ross Perot cannibalized.
Yeah, he won 18% in 92, I think, something like that. What do I think? I think it'll look, well, here, I'll say this. It's crazy how convinced everybody is of stuff right now. And I think it's mostly because...
On both sides.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because we have a siloed media and social media apparatus where it's just like constant lies from everybody all the time. And some of them are strategic. Some of them are cognitive dissonance. It doesn't really matter why, I suppose. But I think that I personally don't think Trump is going to lose Pennsylvania. I think that's wild to think about, frankly.
I'm torn because of Josh Shapiro. I'm with Delco.
The economy is so they like Josh Shapiro, and everybody in Pennsylvania knows that he sat this out for a reason. He was the most. He made him as vice president made the most sense of anybody. Him as the presidential candidate made the most sense of anybody. And had he run for president or vice president, I don't think Trump could have possibly won this election, just because of the way the numbers shake out. But he didn't run, and I think Trump wins.
Trump historically much better against women.
Yeah. And then they're gonna accuse him of an SEC schedule if he didn't play anybody.
He ain't playing nobody.
I mean, Harris being the first female president is kind of a stain.
I don't think anybody wants that.
My wife was
even the Dems.
My wife was literally like, "What a disgrace that would be the first female president."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it is.
Which I agree with. Like, it is the worst possible way for that to happen. Like, truly.
Yeah, but I think in all the elections before, the misery index has been the number one indicator of who is going to win, right? Misery index is unemployment plus inflation. Now, we calculate those things differently now, so you would have to really dig in to see where it is. But we do know that real wages are way down for people. Real wages are way down.
Did you see the jobs report today?
Yeah, it's bad. 12,000 fucking jobs.
12,000
And we lost
It was a
46,000 manufacturing jobs. That could not have been worse for them.
It's the highest since the height of the pandemic.
Yeah. So, they've been, and again, it's about access to media and whether the Republicans are doing a good enough job of messaging. Every jobs report that's come out that's been part of this lie that the economy is doing well has been revised a month or two later by half most of the time, right? From 300,000 new jobs, it's only 150 actually. Like, oh shit, okay. It's a pretty big fucking divide there, bud. You doubled it.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of whether or not they did the correct messaging, but there's no, it should be incomprehensible that Kamala Harris could win this election just based on the way the country's going right now. But then again, people make stupid decisions all the time.
And it would be a total fucking cakewalk for Trump right now if they didn't overturn Roe versus Wade.
100%. That's the only thing that is really...
That was such a cell phone.
If you're looking at policy, that would be it. But Trump himself was not in office when he overturned it.
And I'll tell you this, if she does win the election and it does come out, I guess, in the crosstabs or the exit polling or whatever, that it was because of Roe v. Wade, then women are going to be in big trouble in this fucking country. Big trouble.
How so?
No man is ever going to want to talk to them again. Rightfully so. Like, you stupid fucking bitch. You don't understand the goddamn Constitution? Fuck you.
Here's what's going to happen.
Like any woman that's pro-choice after this and voted because of that, I will ask and then shun her business, her family, everybody. That is a fucking reprehensible position to take. What a piece of shit you must be to take that position.
But people could say the same thing about 2A.
No, they can't. It's in the goddamn Constitution. We are a country of laws set in stone by the Constitution.
But
That's it.
The voters do not, a lot of them are dumb and they do not care.
That's right. And I'm going to treat them like they're dumb and don't care.
But that's what I'm telling you. And when you go into the voting booth, that is the one place where the husband and wife don't make the same decisions and you don't know what happens.
Man, if you're lying to your spouse about who you're voting for, you're a piece of shit.
Did you see the numbers on this though? They showed it the other day.
You are a massive piece. If you're a man and you find out your wife lied to you about who they're voting for, or vice versa, you should immediately divorce that person.
Not a great
marriage. That is a fucking failed situation. You guys don't share the same values.
I agree. It's very rare that a household,
you lie about it. Fuck that.
It's very rare that people get married and don't share the same values. But I do think, because I read an article about it a week ago.
I feel like it happened all the time back in the day.
It does. It has happened forever.
During second wave feminism, it happened.
It has happened forever, dude. And that, but that is nothing for me. That's not what I'm basing this election on. Yes, I know I'm a Republican and I'm been a Trump guy since fucking day one. But what I am basing this entire election on is the early voting and the record number of early voting. And I think that campaign of too big to rig is what all of these people have gotten out for.
That's favoring Harris in Pennsylvania right now.
Yeah, but
that's one state. I'm talking about everybody
else.
State,
though. That's the state.
But no, I think he gets Michigan. I think he gets Arizona. I think he gets Nevada. So it's like, therefore, what was my number? 307. Yeah, 307 and 212, I think it was.
I saved them all for posterity here. And this is your map here.
Yeah. Okay. So, 306 to 232. That ain't close. That's not close at all.
Historically, that's actually very, very close.
Yeah, and you got to think about it this way. The Electoral College is a zero-sum game, right? Which means if it's not like basketball where we could be 130 to 125. Every vote I get is one you don't get, right? So 60-point difference, that's really a 30-point difference, right?
Yep.
It's half of whatever it actually is. So these are all the ones, like Bob said, for the last 5 or so have been super close.
Yeah, but I also think, and then here's my bold prediction that I am actually betting on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit up to $1,000. Is Trump winning the popular vote?
I think that's a good value too.
But by that percentage point that we talked about, that 0 to 2%, because my bookie offers that. And I think it's just people that are fed up with the economy and immigration and what has happened over the last 4 years.
If he wins the popular vote, it will be by 0 to 2%. It will not be higher than
correct.
that.
Correct.
It's a stretch to say he would even win the electoral vote. It's a big stretch, but I think there's good value there.
But we say this all the time on the sports show about sprinkling, and like when I sprinkled on Vandy beating Alabama in Drinkin' Bros Sports, like it was a gut feeling. Am I going to have a ton of money on that? No, and I'll put the results up in Drinkin' Bros Sports and on my own feed and all that other stuff. But from my bookie, but that's just my gut reaction of, you and I traveling everywhere for the last 4 years to all these places. Like people just seem fed up with that.
And I think like the coalition now is just so different than it's been before. 18 to 24-year-olds are all for Trump. I mean, it's such an odd time in history right now. 18 to 24-year-olds broke for Trump by like 60% or something like that.
Yeah, and
fucking wild. And then now, like Bob alluded to it before, but Black and Latinx people are Trump now. Like these coalitions that the Democrats have historically needed.
Could be.
I don't think he'll win majorities in those, but they're like the lead that they had in previous elections is fucking gone.
Shrunk.
It's more people are going to see like numbers either way. What you got to think about, and what I've been trying to say the whole time is like, and again, like, oh, that looks like a blowout, 70 electoral points, whatever. This is going to be won in the trenches, on the margins. This is all about ground games and margins. Even no matter what the Electoral College is going to say, this is going to be an extremely tight race.
I mean, it was in 2020. Yes. Michigan was won by what, 30,000 votes?
No, it was 100,000.
Or 100,000.
Georgia, I think it was
30,000.
Georgia was 11,000. Pennsylvania was 150,000. Nevada, Arizona was really, really, really tight.
Yeah.
But I'll go back to something, Bob, you said a long time ago, which was actually one of the opening lines on Trump when he was on Rogan. Was Rogan had said to him, "It feels like the punk rock thing to do now is to be a Republican as a younger voter now, because it's cool because everybody else is against them and that they're doing it, and that's why I think this is going to happen."
Yeah, you got to think about the large urban centers, right? That's where the bulk of votes come from, and large urban centers are dominated by young people in tech and by Black and brown people typically, right? So when you see those big swings on election day, it's usually because of those voters.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're super happy with how things are going right now.
I don't either. And like, besides 2020, which, hey, dude, I still don't have the answer for that, but like, I have not missed an election at all in the last 25 years. And it's just based on what I think is having a pulse on America and what is going on now. I mean, I call that Obama blowout both times. And it's just a personal vibe of the nation of what is going on at the time and what people are fed up with. And even a state like, take Ohio, because my uncle ran for governor there, and it happened to be in 2008. Bush was really fucking unpopular. And it just fucked them, man. I mean, they lost everything. And I just think that's what's going on right now in today's country.
We'll see. I mean, usually in an election, you'll get, not usually, but very often in an election, you'll get people that aren't voting for someone but voting against the other guy. And that was definitely the case for Trump in 2020. No question about that. That's the case in a lot of big elections. But I've been hearing more and more people that are Democrat, like lifelong Democratic voters, saying they're voting against Kamala Harris. And that was the big, and I think that's just Trump's weakness. Like, he's such a polarizing figure. I think had he not done or said some of the stuff he said that's ineloquent or just stupid, this would be a landslide victory for him.
I think a generic Republican wins this going away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the other part of it. I think Vance has definitely helped him out quite a bit.
Yes.
Just like calm and reasonable. And now you can see the sunset after 4 years of Trump coming in and fucking people up is a guy who's measured and reasonable and went through all the same fucked up life shit that all of you did. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot easier for people to deal with than either Mike Pence or any of the other people, frankly, that he could have chosen.
Yeah,
Vance
and
was the best
you guys
choice.
weren't here in 2016, but like I personally on the show was really pissed off about Pence being the pick for VP.
That was a huge mistake back then.
And I thought he would, I was like, dude, if he was when he's in the pre-election show, just like we're doing now, I was like, if he loses this, it's because you picked this fucking weirdo in the middle of nowhere that has nothing to, like, cannot help your campaign in any way other than evangelicals at that time.
But it turns out they didn't fucking care.
No, they didn't.
The evangelical vote isn't going left no matter what happens.
And people love Vance, myself included. Like, God damn, he is just not missed on any of these interviews. He answers the question. He's very well spoken, and he's just likable. He's a likable guy.
If he was running for president with anybody, with some generic running mate, right now he would be up by 10 points or something crazy. But
Vance, you mean?
Yeah,
Vance.
I think Vance. I think DeSantis. I think a lot of people would be. I think this race is as close as it is because of Donald Trump. I think that's okay to admit. Yeah. Personally, like I think it's. I know we're Trump guys here. But
it's not that. I'll go back to 2020. He still got the most votes of any sitting president in the history of our country. Yeah, I mean that's the.
He's a polarizing guy. He gets attention
he
either way.
is, but he's still got the record. And like, if you look at the media and how everybody else talks over our lifetime, it would lead you to believe that Obama was the most popular president ever. And the numbers just simply don't state that. So, yeah, it's a strange one. Again, gut pick on this one. I've missed once in the last 25 years or whatever it is. But this one, I think he gets the popular vote. I think people are just fed up with the last 4 years. And I don't know how she beats being the vice president during that period. And I think that's her, along with her not being able to speak her policy or anything else.
I think
she's just glued to Biden in this administration.
To be honest, I think her public presentation might be worse than her connection to Biden even. People don't want to vote for incompetence. You know what I mean? Like the reason Biden was popular in 2020 was he's an elder statesman. Like we people that actually paid attention every single day to him could tell he had vascular dementia.
And they loved Obama.
Yeah,
but also he was Obama's VP, you know?
But the average voter who just sees stuff in the periphery from time to time, they just saw, oh, that's Joe Biden. We know Joe Biden. He's fine. Don't worry about that guy. He's fine, right? Yeah. Everything they've seen of Kamala over the last couple of years is just incompetence. Like she's not done one good thing. And I think that's going to be the bigger fact. I think that's the intangible that's hard to account for in the polling. You know what I mean? Because when you call all these polls that happen, they don't.
I'm not going off of any polls, by the way. For my picks, I'm not zero polls.
It's just like centrists never get represented in these polls.
Yeah,
like ordinary, and it's not because it's not always. Sometimes it is. It's not always because they're trying to exclude people like them. They just aren't going to pick up the phone. And that archetype person who just like experiences everyday life and isn't tied up in politics all the time, they are moved by a couple of things. One is the misery index. Can I afford stuff? Mm-hmm. My mortgage, it's like 56% goddamn increase. So in was it Atlanta? So in Atlanta, in 2021 under Trump, you had to make $75,000 a year to own a home in Fulton County.
He wasn't president in 21.
Well, until January was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
yeah,
to start the year. That's why I say that, because that was his last day in service was January 21st, 2021. It cost $75,000. Or I'm sorry, you had to make at least $75K a year to own a home in Fulton County or Cobb County, right? Today you have to make $130,000.
It makes sense.
I mean, that is almost double.
Yeah.
It's too much for people. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm basing my pick on. That is it. I don't pay attention to the polls or anything else.
Yeah. You can only fuck people. You can do a lot of stuff. You can take their fucking lunch money away. You can fucking push them down. You can do all this stuff. But if you reach into their wallet like in a real way, I think that's that's when people start to fucking rebel a little bit.
And that's why I think the early voting is the way it is. But that's we'll know on election night.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we're going to be able to afford groceries or if we're going to war.
Yeah, find out.
Not with each other.
Not with each other, but everybody
every
else.
Other country in the fucking world.
Exactly.
North Korean troops are massed at the fucking Ukraine border now, by the way.
Doing what?
Just waiting to fucking invade if Kamala Harris wins.
They're already over there.
Oh, are they really?
They're on the border.
They've been deployed.
North Korea?
Yeah.
For Russia?
Yeah, they're on the Russian border right now. I don't know if it's a defensive thing or what, but they're in there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, kids. Now's the point in the show. We get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. You can submit on drinkinbros.com. Bob, pull up the page there on drinkinbros.com. We got all the merch. We got the Bro Box. We got all of our NIL deals at Penn State, Michigan, University of Illinois. All those hats, articles of clothing for Hard AF. Seltzer are up there. Brand new Drinkin' Bros mugs, glassware across the board. Hoodies. Finally getting into hoodie season. I think on election night here, it's going to be 60, Delco said. As the low, that will be fun, and tons of other things. All your reviews are on there as well. And it helps us and it helps the show by supporting us and buying some Drinkin' Bros merch. Yeah, the helmets are fun, dude. The Drinkin' Bros helmets, some of these mini ones you see on the desk, those are great. The glassware is great. Coffee mugs, all of it, you name it, we got it over there, and it all helps the show. Plus, the submission for Drinkin' Bro of the week is on there, and that gets submitted to us live here. And let's go. We'll read them. Let me pull up the old email here. First off, there's a lot coming in. Holy shit. This one's submission by Jeff Crable from Florida, listener since 2020.
He's been here before.
Yeah, nominating Dylan Crable, deceased. Says Dylan was 25 years old when he was taken from us on November 4th, 2022. Dylan overdosed on heroin. Behind an abandoned house alone while we were all sleeping soundly, I spent the next 18 months burning my life to the ground. Dylan, born of two addict alcoholics back in 1997. He had the bug, aka behaviors, at a young age, and a death wish to follow. Dylan was never meant to be in this world, and he went out on his own terms shortly after his 25th birthday, which is way too fucking soon. I'm so sorry, son, and I am sober now. Just know that you will never be alone again. Happy birthday in heaven, October 30th, 1997. And then cheers to you guys. Next up is, because there's a lot of them coming in here, Drinkin' Bro John McKee, New York. Listener for 2 years, wants to nominate John P. McKee, deceased. Says, I want to nominate my father, John P. McKee, who is a true American hero, who passed away from 9/11 related illnesses. Man, that's the second person we've gotten like that. Yeah, that we've gotten like that. So, yeah, man. Says he was working down at Ground Zero again, and he would have loved the podcast. Gotten quite a few 9/11 related ones on this show. And last but not least, we'll read one more here since we're firing away and getting rocked here on Hard AF Seltzers. Drinkin' Bro submission, Jared Hammond, who's from the dumbest state in the union, Pennsylvania, he says. This is his words, by the way, not ours right now. Says he's been listening since around the time Matt Best book came out. So, shit, what was that, 2018? Mm-hmm. At this point, 2019?
19.
Yeah, I don't even remember anymore. We're in the studio every day. It's like, who knows? Who knows when I wrote it? Lastly, he's living. He says, first off, you guys, this barbecue set you guys are always pumping is awesome. But he does say the fact I don't like it because not a single tire or Haitian warlord was included in it. So that was this barbecue set. Yes, so you don't get the guy. You don't get barbecue from Haiti with this. We do want to clarify that.
I'm not sure why you would want that.
He did, apparently.
You want some fucking Haitian warlord cannibal showing up to your fucking house?
He was hoping that it would come with him, and I understand that. Maybe we should change it from barbecue and write not the Haitian in there. That's really fucking funny, by the way. Jared Hammond says, I'm nominating my wife, who will never hear this, because she doesn't listen to the show, but I want to nominate her because she is simply awesome. 9 years ago, she reduced me from a metaphoric ditch and has somehow stayed with me ever since. 6 years of marriage, 2 kids, and she's still making me a better person. She's easily the best part of my life and being supportive and encouraging while I find a new job. He says, you might not want to read the rest of this on air. Okay, cool. Yes. Shit. I'll reach out to you regarding the rest of it for sure. But I appreciate you writing that because, like Ron Burgundy, I will literally read whatever is on the teleprompter. So thank you for that heads up. By the way, that's also what we had to start including living or deceased. Mm-hmm. That was starting off super chipper with these, and it was like, oh man, I lost my fucking dad in a lawnmower accident. His fucking arms and legs got chopped off and sent across the yard. And I was like, oh, God damn it, dude. But we appreciate it. Look, guys, we appreciate all the support over the years. Please go out and vote. Once again, if you are in Austin on election night, join us downtown at WTF Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Bar. I think people be boozing all day there, so get there whenever you want and get early if you want to get tables and all that other fun stuff. But we will be going live at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, right after the polls close here in Texas. That will be on YouTube. That will be on Twitter. And we will have a special new shirt that night regarding D'Anthony and I's prediction for this show right here. Hopefully that happens. If not, it'd be a funny keepsake forever. Be like those shirts they win, or the kids get in Africa for the other fucking Super Bowl team winning. So we'll see. Either we blew a lot of money or we didn't. We'll find out. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For D'Anthony and Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros Podcast. Good night, everyone.